Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. This is Sarah's Prismatic Musings, and I know that I look all bright and cheery, but that could not be further from the truth. I have been extremely tired and unmotivated and dealing with some health issues and potential psychic attack. I have tried filming multiple videos in the past month and can't get through a video without crying. So we will see how this goes. Last month, or maybe even a month and a half ago, or almost 2 months ago, we went to Tombstone for Paracon and we did a ghost hunt in an old store. And of course, Tombstone is all above mines, so there's mining shafts everywhere. And there was a lot of activity in this location, and it was really cool. We were given thermometers that we could measure the temperature of the air, and like little code things, and that one was fun. So we are on the ghost hunt, and my friend here, can you shine the light, reads at, it was 58 degrees. And I will take a, shine the light. Okay, so their surrounding air is 60, so that's not too bad. We got a 48 degree reading over here on this chair. Let's see what we have right now. 46.8. If there's anyone sitting in this chair, can you make it get colder? Can you drop it a few degrees, please?
43. Oh, hotter.
It went up.
Do you want to get it warmer then?
Do you want it to go warmer? Oh, he's making it go warmer.
A little warmer? Okay.
Are you a man? If you're a man, have it go back to 48 degrees, please. Were you a minor here? If you can answer that, if you can make it go back up to 52 degrees, if you were a minor in this area. No. Colder.
Okay.
I'll let it disappear.
Yeah.
Were you a human? Are you human? Make it 46. All right.
You a cowboy?
Okay, if you're a cowboy, will you make it go up to 52 degrees?
So close.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe he's a cowboy.
Yeah. Can you bring it back to 48? Okay.
That's close, yeah. All right, well, sir, thank you for talking to us, and we hope you have a good night. There'll be lots of more people coming. All right, bye. I had a conversation with a ghost, and I'm pretty sure I posted that to the shorts. Nikolai was thinking that the spirits were trying to communicate via Morse code.
Actually, it's not.
Right, it's nothing like malicious.
But it's still going off.
Can you send the same message again?
Coming in now, so things that have to be put back, and I hope you all had a
We didn't really look into it because not long after our experience at Paracon, that's when I became very emotional. I couldn't sleep. I was sleeping maybe 2-3 hours a night. I just cried, like I couldn't stop crying. I wasn't sure if I was going through perimenopause or if my Hashimoto's was flaring up. I just felt horrible. I have started seeing a traditional Chinese doctor and drinking really nasty tea. It's disgusting. And honestly, my last acupuncture session was not fun. It hurt like a bitch. It felt like I had hot pokers. Honestly, no lie, I don't want to go back to my next 2 that I have scheduled. And actually, I really have 4 appointments left minimum to get my body back in balance. But I'm really not looking forward to it. I'm like, I'm not paying to be tortured. But anyway, the first ghost hunt was fine. No issues, no complaints. The people who ran it seemed knowledgeable. It was fine. Where we ran into an issue was we then went to a seance. And I'm thinking it's going to be a real seance with a Ouija board. No, this gentleman used a quack machine, and I don't know if the quack machine also, he used a quack machine and he used a spirit box. And I can tell you that there was no spiritual protection in this place. And the person running the owner, let me just say it for what it is. The owner of the quack machine and the spirit box had no spiritual hygiene, no understanding of spirituality, of spiritual protection. And he comes out and we're like, well, because he gives no history of the building. Like the first place we went to, they gave the history of the building. The owners came and some of the workers and gave stories, accounts of what they've experienced there. People have seen, apparitions appear like human beings, like full, like you and me, looking at them and then they just disappear, things like that. So that was interesting. Nothing. We get no introduction. We get no like who the spirit we're talking to is. So it appears that we're talking to a little girl, and I'm not sure if we're going to include the clips or not because it's pretty upsetting. And the way that this person, and I don't want to show this person. I filmed most of the session, and he was antagonizing this little girl who may or may not be a little girl. Now in the New Age community, and I'm going to get into like more about this later, you ask a spirit 3 times if they are evil, and they're supposed to answer you per spiritual law. Okay, that's bullshit because even spirits have free will. So this spirit, I asked the spirit 3 times if it was evil, and it wouldn't answer. It just kept talking around, like saying the same thing. So supposedly a medium had spent the night in this space that is now used as an Airbnb and states that it's a demon. Now, I did not sense any demonic energy, and neither did my husband. So I'm not sure if it really is a demon, but I'm not sure if it's really a little girl either. But she kept repeating over and over and over again that basically she is locked in the shed outside and to let her out. She kept asking to be let out. Let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out. Now it could be just a demon and wanting to literally be released. My husband and I sat and there was a lot of backwards speaking. Now, my question is, and I tried to reached out to Unearthing the Supernatural because they have good spiritual hygiene. They have a good spiritual protection. I would feel safe doing ghost hunts with them. After this experience, I kind of don't want to go on ghost hunts, and I'm going to be very discerning if I go somewhere who's leading it, because this was a really good example of this was a really, really bad situation. I'm going to read the email that I sent to Unearthing the Supernatural. And if there's any other paranormal investigators out there watching this video, which there might be just because of the topic, if you could answer in the comments, or you could just message me, that would be great. But I would love to hear the answer in the comments down below, or message me. I wrote, "Hello, my name is Sarah, and I was at the Paracon last year in Vulture City when I first met your group. We stayed for the panel and the fire ceremony and then left. A few days later, I discovered that a nature spirit had followed me home. I went hiking up in Prescott not long after and asked the spirit to stay there, and it did. I was wondering, why would they need to hitchhike on me, so to speak? Are they not able to move around at will?" Now, nature spirits, it's like a nature spirit. It's something that was never, I don't know if it was really even a nature spirit. I don't know if it was ever in physical form, but it's a spirit that, I don't know, it's not good or bad. It's just a spirit, right? Anyway, we saw you all again at Tombstone's Paracon, but it didn't go to the cemetery add-on, but did the seance at 6th Street House. I was wondering if y'all were able to get in there and investigate. Supposedly, according to the owner, they think a demon is haunting the house. I consider myself a sensitive empath and can sense and feel and intuit spirits. That was not the feeling that I got from the spirit, but whatever is there is trapped and wants to be released. I remember seeing on your YouTube channel the episode of Fort Courage, Summon to Kill, where a demon was summoned and you had to release the spirit or demon. Once they released that spirit, well, that demon, it released all these trapped souls. And so it reminded me of the experience of the seance in Tombstone at 6th Street House, because it's like there's a lot of souls there. So I'm wondering if someone summoned a demon and it's trapping all these spirits there. I was wondering if this could be the case. I know that demons can sound like anyone and be tricksters, but can't you still feel the underlying bad intent? Supposedly, we were talking to a little girl ghost called Emma, and she kept asking to be let out. The person leading the group was antagonizing the spirit, and it was getting upset. I don't like anything being antagonized, and I like the level of respect your group has for spirits. There was some backward speaking on the spirit box. Do only demons speak backward, or can other spirits talk backwards as well? I am relatively new to paranormal investigation, as I used to be afraid, but I am not anymore. Except it's not that I'm not afraid anymore. I think now I'm going back to a healthy skepticism, and why is this being done? I feel like unearthing this supernatural, like they're actually releasing demons and helping spirits move on. I think that's ethical and I think that's good, but I feel like a lot of these investigators are unethical and they're just using it to make money and have no spiritual hygiene, and I don't like that. And I just read an article actually about how on ghost tours, guides are actually making up stories. So I feel like the whole ghost craze is getting kind of out of control. But anything in the spiritual community is kind of getting out of control right now. My last and final question. Oh, okay. And then I asked them if they would like to be interviewed. So anyway, that's what I wrote to them. But if anyone knows, please let me know in the comments down below. Hopefully they get back to me. I messaged them about a month ago and they haven't gotten back to me, but we'll see. If they do, I will let you all know the answers. So anyway, we went through and listened, and this is what I got. So I'm going to read it to you all. This is the little girl, and I'm going to tell you in its different voices. Now, so I reached out to ask them, do only demons speak backwards? Now, my husband brought up something that he states that it could be the way the magnets are affected with the spirit box. So he's not sure if it could be like a technical thing, or do demons only speak backwards? I mean, I know that was the whole thing of the satanic panic in the 80s, is that demons speak backwards, but I don't know. So what I got is something like, it says, this little girl says, I ate a lot. I'm dying. I realized everything. You like that one. Because we were all laughing, and she says, you like that one. So it's an intelligent spirit. And then I think think she says, I have a question mark, help him on. And then she kept talking about animals. Now there was the owner of the spirit box and the quack machine had a little chihuahua, and so she kept talking about animals. I think she said animals, and then she says, I think this is what it says, it's a bad cowboy, and then no big deal, help me out, I'm going by helping. I think she says awful, you'll see, and then something I really couldn't understand. I wrote sea lions, but I really don't think that's what she said. And then she says he's dead, and then everything, a lot about, and then ... and then it's help. She was, and then the next time I couldn't understand her, then that was the first. Again, I'm not sure if that's exactly, but he died, I cried a lot, I'm dying, stop, him down. Locked in the cell, a lot about help me, animals. Now I will keep up. And then this sounds like an adult woman. Now, the forward way she was speaking, she said she was there with her mother and I think her brother. This is an adult woman who I assume is her mother. It just says just for. And then I didn't write, oh, this one is an adult male's voice, other people's opinions and beliefs. Another male voice, events. Another male voice, right back to where you started. And then, and always. So the male, I feel like he was annoyed with the person leading these quote unquote seance with the spirit box, because it was just kept repeating, having the little girl repeat over and over, help me, let me out. I mean, she did let us know that she was there with her mother and brother. I have chills just talking about this. And so I don't know if I want to play the clips for you guys, because if it is a demon, I don't want to spread that energy. Because right after this is when I started having these issues of really not being able to sleep, of just feeling just really out of sorts. So I'm not sure. I would say if you watch this video, I should have said that. Maybe I'll do a disclaimer. Have dragon's blood or frankincense on while you watch this video anyway. So I did some research about the quack machine. It's an electromagnetic aid. It was created in like I thought I wrote it down over here. Yeah. August 1st, 1854. It was called an EMS, Electrical Muscle Stimulation patent. This was from the National Museum of Civil War Medicine, and they did use it to try to stimulate the nerves for people who lost limbs in the Civil War. Now, it's kind of evolved, and some chiropractors use it.
To cure cancer or emphysema and things like that. Of course, it didn't work, but later on, as years progressed, they learned that this actually put electromagnetic magnetism, I can't say it, in the air, and it attracts these spirits. And so what we're going to do is one person is going to hold the key, right, and then the other person is going to hold their wrist, make sure it's skin-to-skin contact. Hold their wrist, you hold her wrist, his wrist, and so on and so on and so on. We're all holding, we're all connected together. Yeah. Yep, you hold that key,
I think,
right?
doesn't she have to hold the key in this hand though?
Right.
Yeah, you'll
Hold
have
it
to
in that
hold it in
key.
this hand, yeah.
There you go. Yeah, like that, right. And then you hold whoever else is coming around. Hold the wrist, yeah. Hold the wrist.
You gotta have your
And then while we're
instead of
doing
be
that, wow, this is the biggest one we've held so far, so hopefully it'll work. Okay, so everybody connected. Okay, so we're gonna move this device. We're gonna make it like an electric charge, if you will. If it's too much, let us know. If you start feeling faint, let us know. If you're gonna throw up, let us know. If anything happens, you wanna stop,
It doesn't
let us
usually.
know.
It doesn't usually do that. He's just saying.
Yeah,
Well,
just to
Apple
be on the safe side.
Apple
Yeah.
Watch, take it off.
Well, it's gotta just be skin to skin. So if you're,
Oh, I
you
didn't know
guys
if the thing
Right,
would
right.
bother it. So yeah.
so
The shock might feel
a little better with
go ahead and try it. You can test
My watch
it.
goes, whoa.
Uh-huh. And while we're doing that, we're gonna be connected up to a spirit box over here and see if they will talk with us. Go ahead and start, Pam, and see if anybody can feel it. I have to go faster. And then this light here will generate the electricity in the air. Is everybody okay? Do you feel it? Feel anything? I'll go faster, man. Now do you feel it? Anything?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
We're in
yeah.
contact. We're in contact. There's the spirit world. We got it going.
Take them off.
Yeah. Well, we use this at Arcadia Ranch, and we're at a table like this, and we're all doing this, and we asked them to move something, and they actually threw a bag off the table, and that freaked everybody out, and that was it. That was the end of the seance. And is this thing, responsible? I don't know. All I know is it did happen, and so I believe that this actually generates the electricity for the spirits.
And what's the backstory on Emma?
Yeah.
I don't know if you did it before or...
Emma is a child spirit here in Tombstone that likes to bounce around from place to place. Like we picked her up over there at Schliffen Hall, we picked her up here, we picked her up at the birdcage, we picked her up, where else there? I can't
She was
remember.
out at the cemetery today.
Yeah.
Cemetery,
yeah.
really?
Because she kept saying her name.
Emma?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, at Boo Hill?
No, Allen Street.
Oh
Wait,
wow,
yeah.
really?
Yep.
Is
Yeah.
she mainly here in this house? Or is
She
she
just-
She's
everywhere?
everywhere.
She bounces,
Yeah.
yeah. She's like everywhere, and sometimes she's everywhere at one time. You know?
So is this house lived in right now? Like,
No,
or is
it's
it,
a
it's-
it's a bed and breakfast.
it's a bed and breakfast,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
Now I know where to rent when we come back.
Right, yeah. So all of this is the original house. This is one of the original houses in Tombstone. Everything in here is original.
Okay.
There's no, nothing's fake. Everything is original the way it was back in the 1800s.
That's neat. Wow.
Mhm, yeah. And if you want to rent this out, I believe it's $240 a night.
Okay.
Crazy. Yeah, it's pretty expensive.
So, but what is the backstory on Emma? Like, how does she originate? Like, how,
We don't know.
She just told you her
She
name and
won't.
she just...
Yeah, she won't really
She
tell.
plays games with
She
us.
likes to play games with people, but she
Mhm.
just won't really tell much about herself.
And we don't even know if this is really Emma, because spirits can talk any way they want and try to manipulate us and try to make us think that it's a small child or somebody else, when actually it's a demon, or somebody demonic, trying to trick us and fool us. So we really don't know who we're talking to. They may say Emma, but we really don't know. See, that's someone different now.
Yeah.
But see, I can never understand him sometimes. He's talking backwards, so if you have anything to record this and play it backwards. Yeah, so if we play it backwards, we might understand him.
Maybe bring Emma.
She sounds nicer.
Don't come in with you. Just say
Yeah,
no.
she started growling this morning too on the bed. She just started growling. I don't know what that was all about either.
She's back.
I'm back.
Oh, damn. Holy shit. Don't you want to tell us some stories?
Oh, she's going to sleep.
Did you say a dog? Do you see the dog? And what is the dog? Us. Let you out, Jeff. How am I gonna let you out when I don't know where you are? You gotta tell me where you are so I can let you out. You're in this spot? Or in this house? In the box? Is that what it said? Are you in the box? It's fun. Why is it fun? Anybody have any questions? Are you a demon, Emma? Are you an evil spirit?
Ooh.
Doesn't want to answer. Are you an evil spirit? You're in the house? I know you're in the house. What kind of spirit are you? Whoa.
Whoa.
I don't know. That was weird. And it said turn off the light when it
I
did
just
that.
got chills.
I know.
That
huh?
was creepy.
That was. That was really weird. So is that your secret, Emma? Are you an evil spirit? Tell us. She doesn't want to tell us. Damn. Are you creepy? Are you a creepy spirit?
She's
Yes, we brought animals. What kind of animals is it? Are you changing the subject on us?
yeah.
Are you a good spirit? Are you an evil spirit?
She looks like she's grinning.
Are you a nice spirit? All in the house? Let you out again. Where are you? Let's see. You're changing the subject. Let's get back on it. Are you an evil spirit?
Does the man come?
Whoa. Sometimes. But I can't. Sometimes we can understand them. Sometimes we can't. You play it backwards. Because he talks back. Tell me where you are so I can let you out. Today. In the shed. She's in the shed.
Yeah, there's a shed.
There's a
out
shed back there.
Yeah, there's a shed out back.
Yeah. Are you buried in the shed? Is that where you are, in the shed? Whew,
Wow,
there's
everybody
a lot
answered.
Of people again. There's more than one. That's what the owner was saying, that there's a few maybe in here, but mostly it's a male demonic spirit. The owner says.
Why did they say that?
Just because of, I think she had another medium in here,
Uh-huh.
and that's what she told him, and things moving around in the house, and she says that some people won't stay in here. She says she's had poltergeist experiences in here, so that's why she thought it might be a good idea for us to do this, just to see what would happen. Can't tell. Damn. Let you out. Let you out. Can't let you out. You don't tell me where you are.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my ear or something like, I don't know. Is there a fly in here? Because something touched my ear.
Really?
Yeah. There's
No.
not any flies in here?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, That's what it felt like, a fly.
Damn. Well, maybe, but have you guys seen any flies?
I haven't.
I haven't either. House? How many family members are here with you? All of us. How many is all of us? I can't let you out unless you tell me where you are. Let's see. So you're in the shed, right? And where? Are you buried in the shed? Are you threatening me? From the grave? Yeah, right. Touch the light. Touch the light. We're gonna go. Goodbye.
Oh, now the light.
Did you see that? It flickered.
Did it move it? Did the light
It
go up?
flickered,
Did
yeah.
you touch that light?
She's like, get out now.
I did, she said. Ooh, damn.
It went off
Oh.
again. I gotta chill.
Yeah.
It's a chill in
Yeah.
here.
Make it go
I
higher.
wasn't recording.
Make it go to green. Do the green. There you go. More.
Oh, wow. It
Oh,
did.
it did. Yeah. Oh, shit. Do the green. Do the green. You can do the green. Turn around. Wow. That was pretty cool. Oh, damn. There she goes again. Make it higher. Go higher. Go all the way up. All the way. You can do it. Anybody here with us?
You are
Whoa, say slow.
always
Over here,
you nicht besuchen über other people's opinions and beliefs.
Here too. And
Oh,
and somebody banging on the door, wanting to be on us.
Just for
Who is green?
It's interesting that while I was going through all this, I read a book called I Was Cursed in Connecticut. And that book was excellent, and it talks about the dangers of going and receiving psychic readings and having to use discernment. So this woman went to a woman who read for her and told her that there was a curse on her family, and of course she extorted a lot of money. It was over $10,000 from this woman, and this woman ruined her life, and it took another psychic across the country in California to help her, but she also was trying to extort money from her. So it's really important that if somebody tells you you have a curse on that you, and then they are trying to demand more money, saying that they're the only person who can remove it, that they're not the real deal, and most likely they are the person putting the curse on you, and that you need to take every precaution and get rid of everything that that person's given you, and absolutely do not give them any of your money. It is totally unethical to, say a curse has been put on you and then demand like tens of thousands of dollars to remove it. It does not take that much money to remove a curse. You can look into faiths like hoodoo and voodoo and work your own spells. If you don't want to go that path, it's funny because right after reading that, a couple weeks after reading that, I went to there was like a psychic fair in Sierra Vista, and Maya Zahira was there, and I got a copy of Darkness Disguised as Light. Now it took me a few weeks to get through this book, but it is amazing. And she talks about her own psychic attack, and she talks about the signs and symptoms. She verified for me that there's some psychic attack that I'm under as well. I'm not sure if it's psychic attack plus the, just being exposed to someone's bad spiritual hygiene in Tombstone at that seance. It's a combination. Now I do wear dragon's blood and I try to wear protective jewelry, but sometimes that's not enough. This book is amazing. I highly recommend it. I wish that this book was around when I was a child. It explains a lot. I mean, having that earthbound spirit in my room and having nightmares and not being able to sleep from very young. It talks about the new age bullshit of love and light. Now, I'm going to back up. I read another book. I had a friend of mine who I love dearly. Like, I love her. She's amazing and such an authentic person, and to me, very balanced. She messaged me and asked me to read her friend's book. Her friend just released a book, and if I would interview her. And I was like, sure, I'll read the book and interview her. Now, for some reason, this woman and I could not connect. I would write down when I was supposed to call her everywhere, and I forgot to call her 3 times. She finally just gave me a call, and now when she called, she woke me up out of a dead sleep. I probably had only been asleep for like an hour or 2 at that point. I hadn't slept the night before, I think, at all, maybe an hour. My voice, I had, I was awoken out of dead, sound, deep sleep, right? So my voice is all groggly. I sound like shit. Not even 2 minutes into the conversation, she tells me to calm down. I'm like, okay, like I am calm. Like, that's so rude. And then she says, let's meditate. Okay, that's fucking rude. Like, I don't like that. I don't like when people are pushy. We weren't talking for a meditation session. We were talking to get to kind of know each other and to see if she would be a good fit. Well, right then and there, I already kind of knew she wouldn't be a good fit. But I just knew she was offered to send me her book for free. And I did not want the book sent to me for free. There was just something I didn't want it. So I ordered it from Amazon and I read the book, and it was full of new age bullshit. And I was supposed to believe that this woman healed all her trauma through one mantra. And I'm not even going to say what the mantra is because it's just so ridiculous. And I remember when I first moved to Phoenix from the East Coast, and I would swear, and a friend of mine who was like, I thought you were spiritual. Why are you swearing? And it's like, bitch, please, I swear. So yes, I'm from the East Coast, and psychic protection was taught, and it's more influenced by Wicca, mainly Wicca, especially when I was there. It was very Wiccan. Now that when I went back to visit my family last year, it was a mix of Wiccan, pagan, and I saw a lot of hoodoo influence now on the East Coast. So I think it's kind of diversified a little bit more. Now moving here to Arizona, to Phoenix especially, and the new age and everyone like obsessed with aliens, like that was really interesting to me. And the whole like love and light, like I was just kind of creeped out by it. And I'm not really I had some really good friends who were very new age, and that's fine. Like, good for them. And I read a book, and now I must have read it through Kindle Unlimited because I can't find the book on my Kindle. I can't find, I had rated it, I thought, and left a review on Goodreads. I can't find it. Anyway, it was about people's experiences with alien abduction, because one of my really good friends had a lot of experiences with being abducted. And I remember walking into a New Age store in Phoenix, and there was a bust, an alien head bust, and she wanted it. And I was like, and she's like, oh, this artist, she imbues a piece of the spirit of the alien. And I'm like, girlfriend, why would you want to invite them into your home? And I mean, I understand it's about having a sense of control, but why would you invite them into your home and be like, yeah, abduct me? No, like, no. Psychic protection, like, protect yourself. But of course, in the New Age community, as Maya states, it's all about love and light. There is no darkness. If you have a high enough vibration, there is no darkness. We're all one. Darkness is the same as light. Just send it love and light, and it will fix itself. No, no. The spiritual path is not about just love and light, okay? The spiritual path is about gaining balance. And especially for me, if you had known me 20 years ago, if you could read energy, you would see that my soul was half in and half out of my body. I really didn't want to be on earth. In psychological terms, I was walking around disassociated most of the time. I was really not present. I was not in my body. And for me, Reiki and things like Tai Chi and playing a lot of sports and dancing really helped me get embodied. And for me, spirituality is about becoming more human. It's about embracing all emotions and all feelings, whether that's joy and happiness and love and contentment and peace. Yeah, those are important, but so is rage and anger. And if you need to curse, curse. Now, I do understand that saying a swear word, especially if it's directed at someone, that literally is a curse you are sending. So it's like, be careful. And who hasn't cursed out people in traffic? I know I have. That's my bad. Like, I do need to be more aware of that, because that is black magic. You are sending somebody a curse when you're angry and you curse them out. You are literally sending a curse. We do a lot of things subconsciously, unconsciously, unaware. And so I do think that becoming spiritual is about becoming aware of our thought patterns, and that's what meditation's for. Becoming aware of our speech patterns and how to change that. Becoming aware of who we let in our space. Our bodies are up to us to protect and to treat as our holy temples. Now, I understand that issues of demons and things like that are probably easier for someone like me to accept, because I was raised Catholic. Now, it's interesting, in both of the books, I Was Cursed in Connecticut and Darkness Disguised as Light, both women went to Catholic priests for exorcism, and the Catholic priest wouldn't do it. Now, the first book, I thought maybe it was because the woman wasn't Catholic herself, but Maya is like me. We were both raised in the Catholic Church, so I find it interesting. Is the Catholic Church or priests just getting weak? Are they like, I mean, that's part of their job, is exorcism. I'm not sure what's up with that. My sister told me I should go talk to a Catholic priest and find out. But one Catholic priest is one Catholic priest. I don't know. I know somebody who had a brother who was a Catholic priest who's done exorcisms. So I'm not sure, and who's seen things and has seen, scary stuff. So I'm not sure if not all priests practice exorcism, if it depends on the priest. I don't know how that works. I mean, I'm not a part of the Catholic Church anymore, so I don't know. But, you know, that was one thing that I really liked about Catholicism, was that they acknowledge that evil exists and they take precautions. They burn incense like frankincense and myrrh. They have holy water. The priests do perform exorcisms, right? So they understand that there is a spiritual war going on. And it doesn't matter how devoutly religious. It's almost like the more religious you are, the more of a target you are. So it's really important. I mean, it's really important to take control of your spiritual hygiene. Of course, as a child, it's hard, especially in a family that denied the entity in the house, denied the attachments, denied it even being an issue. I mean, like I said, I had a professional psychic clear the land, so that's good. Their house is clear now, but that entity bothered my sister, bothered me, bothered my nephew. I'm sure it bothered my niece. So what these entities do is they create attachments to you, and they will keep you awake at night, and they feed off your life force energy, and they can make you sick over time. That's just, you know, this was an earthbound spirit. So imagine, now Maya discusses the different levels. There's like 4 different levels and 4 different types of demons. In the spiritual realm, you know, there's earthbound spirits, there's demons, there's jinn, there's fairies and elementals. There's beings our culture doesn't have words for. It was really hard for me because I read this book and I had no desire at all to interview this woman. The book wasn't complete. At the time of reading it, I felt like it was high in spiritual narcissism, but now I'm realizing that it's more insidious than spiritual narcissism. That when somebody is in that blissed out new age state, that is a spiritual attachment, and that's not a good spiritual attachment. Angels and beings of the light of God, of, you know, do not need to create cords to you, okay? If there's an attachment, it's going to be a lower level entity or demon, something of the false light, pretending to be an angel, pretending to be a guide, pretending to be an ascended master. I have a really hard time with channeled messages. I really hate the condescending beloved ones or my dear ones, or I don't know. It's just, I've tried reading channeled messages so often and it just pisses me off. I get angry and I'm starting to realize why I get angry, because it's not of the light, that being. And I have friends and I know people who channel, and after they channeled, they've gotten really, really, really sick with diseases and things that there's really no cure for. And so I've really been questioning, what am I doing? Why am I on this path? And I don't claim New Age religion, and I don't channel. But of course, spirituality I claim. And why I used to call myself a witch is because I understand that there is light and dark. And I understand the importance of both, of balance, of being a balanced human being. Covering your head in the sand is not going to protect you. I know that firsthand because as a child, it did not protect me. I would say prayers every night, yet it did not protect me from this spiritual entity, okay? I didn't know about essential oils. I did not know about frankincense, burning frankincense. I did not know about even using basic candle magic. We're taught that saying the Lord's Prayer is protection enough, but after you said it and you're asleep and you're conscious is somewhere else. Well, how do you protect yourself, right? I wasn't encouraged to work with the angels even as a child. Now, if I had, it would have been a big help to even just call in Archangel Michael. So, shoulda, coulda, woulda, yes, it's hindsight. But I'm just so happy for this book, and I recommend everyone read it, because it's fine to be open, and it's fine to walk the spiritual path, but know that there's dangers and there's pitfalls. It doesn't matter if you're Christian, Buddhist, Hindu, Muslim, born again, pagan. Well, I'm not going to include the pagans because, like I said, the pagans and the witches and hoodoo and voodoo practitioners really understand spiritual protection. They really understand the spiritual realm. It's people in the New Age community are fed this lie that there's only love and light, that we're all one. Yes, we are all one. And yes, the dark is made from the light, but they chose to be out of the light. I don't want to choose to be out of the light. I want to be in the path. I want to be connected with God. I want to be in the flow with God. I don't want my life to be a literal living hell, right? Like, I want my life to flow and to live authentically. And to be a human means to feel all of those emotions, to feel everything, and to be embodied and to be authentic. So if you need to scream and rage, if that's your authenticity at that time, do that. If you need to curse out your parents because they were assholes to you, then curse them out. I'm not saying to hold on to that anger, but sometimes those things are necessary, and boundaries are important in spirituality just as they are in your personal relationships with your boss, with your coworkers, with your parents. It's interesting because I was told recently that I have really good boundaries, and I probably do have really good boundaries when it comes to work with my professional life. With my parents, it's another situation. Telling them to fuck off is a lot harder for me than telling a coworker or my boss to fuck off nicely, And I can tell people to fuck off nicely, and I have. Because there's certain things I just won't put up with. But with my parents, I try to give them their respect. I understand, let them have their opinions, let them have their say. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm me. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. When have I ever listened to my parents? Truly. And they know that. And that's just the way it is, And it's interesting because of those boundaries, I think, that I've kind of always have, and the honesty that I've always had. My family has always made me feel like an asshole. And I've realized now that I'm middle-aged, I'm not an asshole. It's called healthy boundaries and communication and authenticity. And have I always gone about things in the nicest of ways? No. I've gotten better, I think, at that, of being diplomatic, of stating my boundaries. I wanted to add some stuff that I forgot to talk about in my video talking about spiritual protection. I am reading this really great book. It's called Healing the Adult Children of Narcissists by Zahira Arabi, copyright 2019 by SCW Publishing. So I'm going to read a quote from the book. This is from page 90 to 91. And it's talking about the importance of embracing all of your emotions, especially the whole range, because people who are victims of abuse are usually shamed and guilted and aren't allowed to show emotions, especially the negative ones. And I find that a lot in spiritual communities, especially the New Age community. So I'm going to read this quote and then another one. So it says, validate any and all of your emotions as they come up. They don't have to be, quote unquote, rational in order to be validated. Whatever you're feeling is okay and deserves attention. Mindfully keep track of your emotions and note where you might require some physical release. Do you have an excess of rage that you need to express in a safe holding environment with a therapist or a kickboxing lesson or session, excuse me? If you could truly honor and love your emotions rather than repressing or shaming them, how would you feel? It's important when you're healing yourself from abuse or trauma, and it doesn't have to be from childhood, it can be any point in your life. It's important to feel everything, note it, write it down, and then work through it, feel it, release it. You don't want those emotions getting stuck in your body because it will make you sick. All right, the next one is page 213. Connect with your authentic self, your authentic rage, and your fighter attitude. So long as you do not act upon any of these thoughts or break no contact by sending them, and I'm going to add no, them is the abuser, any part of this new discourse. So they're saying to write down how you're feeling and then kind of talk back to the abuser. Any part of this new discourse, you're safe to release your anger in a healthy manner. In fact, according to Beverly Engel, LMFT, attempting to stifle your anger while forcing yourself to forgive your abuser too soon actually impedes the healing process. So it's really important while you're healing from trauma or abuse to feel all of your emotions. That includes anger, rage, shame, guilt, and you don't have to pretend anymore that everything was fine, especially if it's a family dynamic. You usually have to pretend, right? And so this is really saying that it's important to embrace everything and feel your emotions, embrace that. I just wanted to add that. Now, it was really hard for me to tell this woman that I couldn't interview her because I was afraid of losing my friend, which I think I did. And if that's the case, that's okay. You know, I understand. I wrote an email and let her know that I thought that the book was a great second draft. It was the second time she'd written the book. She had added on. And I told her, you know, maybe I gave her suggestions of things she should include and add and flesh out, because I was like, really? Did you really forgive your family and all the trauma of your childhood from a mantra? I want to be walked through the process. You know, I've read a lot of memoirs about healing, especially healing trauma. I mean, I have another friend who wrote a book, and it was amazing. It was amazing. She was so vulnerable in the book, and I interviewed her. You can watch her interview. It's Audra, and that was such a balanced, beautiful book about her struggles and her trauma and how she worked through it and how she forgave people in her life and how she moved on from that, and how, you know, it wasn't all love and light. It wasn't. There was a lot of tears and a lot of struggle, and you know, and if I want to read an authentic book, I want to read something like that. I don't want to read someone going into detail about, you know, what they ate when they get there to, you know, say goodbye to their parent or to meet their parent for the first time. Like, too many details that I didn't need, not enough details about what I wanted to hear about. Because this woman glossed over everything, that this mantra is what allowed her to forgive her parents. I'm sorry, but that's not how it works. I say mantras every day. Yes, it changes, you know, writing gratitude, write 3 things down that you're grateful for 21 or 30 days. It's going to change the way you think. Meditation is going to change the way you think. But it's not going to get rid of that pain. Getting rid of that pain doesn't come until you have a conversation, a real face-to-face conversation with a person. Discuss it. Or if you can't, therapy, deep therapy really helps. You know, self-help is wonderful, and Spirituality is wonderful, but those are only 2 parts of the pie. The third and the major part is some sort of therapy. You need to find a therapist that you can work with. And sometimes it even comes to, doing something like acupuncture or to get your body re-regulated from the trauma, because trauma really is stored in your body. So either acupuncture or massage, it's all of these things. It's not just one thing. It's not just, that's part of the spiritual bullshit. Just like, wanting to invite aliens into your home is part of the spiritual bullshit. I'm sorry, but no. Like, I tried to understand the whole alien thing of why people are so fascinated by aliens and the psychology behind it. And I can't come up with anything other than that when you're so powerless, or you feel that you're so powerless, you're trying to, like with the people buying the busts and having them in your home, you're trying to regain a sense of control. But a real way, that's the spiritual community bullshit way, but the real way is to protect yourself spiritually with what I stated earlier: dragon's blood, frankincense, sound vibration, meditation, salt, look into hoodoo, spiritual protection, calling upon Archangel Michael, calling upon God, whatever, calling upon your protection angels. And saying, get the fuck out of my house, get the fuck out of my head, leave me the fuck alone. Like, because I'm not saying that all aliens are bad or whatever, but I think any alien or entity that abducts you and takes you out of your home is pretty bad. I mean, I don't care what they say, like, oh, well, my soul signed up for it before birth and I'm special and blah, blah, blah. That's some major mental gymnastics going on there. You need to work on cutting those contracts then. Cut those bindings. Like, no. Hell no. So my point for this video is that somewhere along the way, I let my guard down. Now, is it my health? Yeah, some of the reasons why I've been feeling, and you can see how tired I look, even with makeup. I haven't wanted to put makeup on. I haven't wanted to get dressed up. I haven't really wanted to do much of anything. Reading is fine. Like, I love to just go outside and read, and doing tarot readings. Kind of going through another dark night of the soul of being like, I've always been interested in spirituality. Spirituality and religion have always been a big part of my life. I'm trying to understand the psychology of that as well. There's really not much on that, or I haven't found it. It's hidden from my view, I guess. And I'm really curious on that, because tarot and angels and religion and spirituality and really connecting with your soul and the source has really been important to me my whole life. And I'm not sure how this new information of how people are like actually experiencing it, I'm not sure how it's going to change my spiritual practice. But I know it has. I know it has dramatically, because I'm not gonna lie, since opening up and giving tarot readings face to face to people has been eye-opening, and it's been challenging. And like I already said, ghost hunting now is not really on the table for me. I mean, I would like to go to Vulture City either this spring or next spring if they do their Paracon again, because the people who they had actually have spiritual discernment and understanding of the spiritual realm, and I felt a lot safer there. Now, even though I had brought an attachment home with me, it wasn't anything bad. It was an earthbound spirit, and I released it into the wild, you know, it was fine. But going to a Paracon and not being warned ahead of time that we were potentially speaking to a demon and there was no spiritual protection just felt reckless to me. And it's interesting that I then read I was cursed in Connecticut, and then I met Maya and read this book, and I was like, damn. Because I don't believe in coincidences. I think synchronicity plays a big part. So anyway, my point is that I agree with Maya that the New Age is bullshit, and reading about spiritual attachments and what it feels like, we always think of the negatives of like nightmares and insomnia and feeling kind of off, sickness, electronics not working, things like that. That's like typical stuff. But it can also feel like bliss, which I did not know that. So I learned that from this book. And a lot of the New Agers walk around with that glazed look in their eye, blissed out. And it's because they've been plugged into by the false light, and they're receiving spiritual anesthesia. That feel good and that blissed out feeling actually means you have an attachment. And so I think that that's why my guides were not wanting me to connect with this woman. They didn't want whatever entities attached to her for me to come into contact with it. I lost a friend, which that's fine. And I think my friend was balanced, but that my friend was balanced, but I think her friend was not. And I think her friend was tapped into this. I don't like it. I remember when I was dating years and years ago before I met my husband, and I hated dating New Age guys because they would just start wanting to like work on your aura, work on you energetically without your permission. And I'd be like, excuse me, huge violation. Like, I didn't give you permission. You didn't ask permission. Like, I don't know what you're doing. Like, you know, and furthermore, I'm a Reiki master. Like, if I feel like I have an issue, I'm going to give myself Reiki, or I'm going to go. I had a lot of friends who were energy practitioners at the time. I could go to any one of them to go get my, you know, whatever you feel needs to be fixed. Yeah, I don't like that. That's like gross. That's just like someone saying, let's meditate together. I'm blissed out because I say a mantra, and that allows me to forgive. Okay. Bless your heart. That's all I have to say about that. Bless your heart. So I know this was really rambly, but I wanted to catch you all up to speed with where I'm at. YouTube filming in front of the camera has not really been something that I wanted to even do. I'm not sure. I may just continue on with like spiritual books because I feel like this is really important, but it's really going to depend on the book and the message. And I may still discuss spiritual topics, but that will mean that I won't be on as often. I won't be filming as often. You know, I was filming like kind of like monthly wrap-ups, but I'm feeling like, you know, I'm really not that open of a book. I don't really like talking about what I do and my life. It seems to invite jealousy, the evil eye, maybe contempt from people. And if I do film those, I'm probably going to keep them private and maybe share with a few people that I actually know. I know my husband requested me to do he's been requesting monthly wrap-ups because it's nice. It's kind of like we take so many pictures of things, and it's a way to keep track of what we've done. But I keep my journal, and he keeps a journal too. So, but it's just another kind of cool way to see our photos and to see, you know, kind of like highlights. But I don't feel comfortable doing that because of what I stated. Yeah, I really haven't enjoyed the evil eye. And yeah, you may or may not know who you are, but there's probably more than one person. But Yeah. So it's been a month of detoxing, of drinking nasty ass tea, of acupuncture, of meditation, of reading, of self-care, because I really haven't had the energy for much else. When I start to feel better and I start to feel like I have stamina, it's almost like then it's poof, it's gone. It's like, oh, you thought you did, ha 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 ha. We went to Phoenix, and when we were out of town, when we were in Phoenix, I felt amazing. I felt so good. And then we came back here and my energy just plummeted again. Part of it is I do feel a little ridiculous walking around my little conservative town with my blue hair, and I don't want to walk around with crazy makeup. And if I film, I used to enjoy having the crazy hair and makeup, and I guess my energy has shifted. I feel a little crazy. I did try filming a video with no makeup, but you guys, I look so tired, and just that, I feel like, these are going to be on the internet for however long I decide to let them be up, that I don't want to look like total shit. But the main message I want to leave with you all is that it's really, really important to understand that we live in a dualistic society, not even society, world, dimension, paradigm. And there is good, there is evil. Psychic protection is really important, and that goes against evil aliens as well. Or whatever your belief system is. For some people, that's prayer. Praying to Archangel Michael is really, really good. Clearing your energy, if you know how to do that. Strengthening your aura. Maintaining good health. Exercise. Yoga, meditation. Acupuncture, massage. Any kind of body work and energy work is really important, as well as just your mind and your intention. Really, that's all a spell is your mind and your intention, and also your voice, your words. So remember, if you're in traffic and you curse someone else out, you are cursing them. So yes, I kind of agree with my New Ager friends. Like, it is good to be aware that maybe I shouldn't be cursing people out. So maybe I give them that. But it's not healthy to walk around blissed out. It's not healthy to walk around love and light, love and light. It's honestly, be very careful with channeling. Like I said, I've known too many people who've become very, very sick after channeling. Same goes with automatic writing. You don't want to let entities into your body. Like, no. Take care of your space. Take care of your temple, which is your body. Take care of your mind, your heart, your soul. Take care of your physical body. Take care of your home, where you live, where you work. Do what you need to do to protect yourself, because it does. I am all about live and let live, but unfortunately, there's a lot of jealous people out there. There's a lot of people who like suffering and like living in the mud. And I remember when I went to Rhinebeck, I did a shamanic Reiki with Lynn Roberts, I think her name was. And we did a journey with another person, and we had to be like basically where that person wanted. And the person I was with wanted to be in the muck. Like, she wanted to be in the muck. And poor her was stuck with me because I was dancing around. Like, I understand we all have muck, right? We all have trauma, and we all have shit. But it is a choice. It is a choice. Do you stay in the muck, or do you raise yourself up out of the muck? Me personally, I want to raise myself up out of the muck. I don't want to play in that shit. She wanted to play in that shit. So I was there to show her, like, look, you can rise up above the muck and you can get yourself out. So it's really about being empowered. You have the power to raise yourself up out of the muck. But so many people like to play in the muck. And that's what I learned from that woman. People like to play in their own filth. I don't. I don't, So We don't have any control over anybody else, but we can live by example. And living by example means being balanced in our polarity, in our light and dark, male and female, being balanced energetically. The name of the game of true spirituality for me is balance. And it's about feeling all of your emotions, and it's about being authentic. Authenticity is key, and we don't need tarot cards or the pendulum or any spiritual tools. Really, what it comes down to is our intention and our will. And if you have those two things super strong, you can protect yourself as well with that. But it's not going to work if you have your head buried in the sand and say, la la, or you're, la 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 la, it's not real. It is real. It is, okay? So protect yourselves, guys. Stay safe. And I don't know when I'll see you again, but take care. Bye, y'all.